welcome to the next episode of Build Your Own X-Wing, where we're going to be looking at issues 7 and 8 this time, as you can see, and we are going to get started on some of the wings of this X-Wing. And from the reports coming in from America and places that have already had this build for a while, a lot of this build is going to be the wings, which makes sense because it's in the name. So yeah, it's good to get started on the wing. Now, before we get started on issues 7 and 8, I had a tidy up of the man cave, and I found the old trial versions of this X-Wing build. I couldn't find them for the first couple of videos, but I have found them now. So I'm just going to do very quick comparisons about what we had in the trial and what we have now. So the first thing we're going to look at is R2-D2. This is the proper build one. As you can tell, it's got the third leg there. And here is the trial one. Now the trial one is quite noticeably larger in terms of height and in terms of width. This one seems slightly off-white as well. That might just be age because it is 2 years old, actually, thinking about it. But there isn't that much difference. This was painted red, whereas we've got the see-through part here on the real one. Same with the red sensor at the back. Paint detail is a little better there. But yeah, it's interesting that the trial one is bigger and the proper one is smaller. I don't really know why that is, but that is quite interesting. Moving on then, what should we look at next? Let's look at the turret. So, let's zoom out. So we have here the, spoilers. We have here the gun turret. This is the proper gun turret, and this is the trial. So, whereas the R2-D2 for the trial was bigger, this one is smaller. Not in terms of length, they are pretty much the same length, but in terms of width, we've got the trial one on the left here, and we have, actually no, maybe it is slightly bigger. In fact, maybe they're just exactly the same. I think this part is slightly thinner, and this part is thicker. Oh yeah, you see it's got a little indent there. It kind of goes in there. It doesn't do it on the real one. How bizarre. But everything else is exactly the same. Also, the painting is slightly different. They're both metal pieces here and here with the tips, although this wire comes out properly, probably because it's not connected here. But yeah, so there's not much difference there apart from the connectors as well with the trial and the proper gun. And so the final thing, of course, is the cockpit. Here is the cockpit of the real version. As you can see, I worked out, actually let's take this metal piece out because that's not connected yet. You don't connect that yet. I found out where this black bit goes, and of course it just fits in there for those people who are annoyed at me from the last video. Of course it just goes in there and just sits in that framework as so. And here is what we got from the trial. Far noticeably smaller as well, more slimlined on the cockpit canopy, and the metalwork is completely different. You can tell this is just a trial. They're just blank metal parts. There's nothing to it really, whereas these have all the rivets and stuff, and they've thought more about it, and the flooring and things like that. So I hope you found that interesting, doing a little comparison. I always do comparisons in these videos, and it was a shame to miss out for the X-Wing just because I couldn't find the parts. Better late than never, as they say. If you are enjoying this video, please consider giving it a like. Hitting that like button will really help me out and really help out the channel as well, so thank you very much for doing that. So moving on to what we get in these two issues, as I said before, we're looking at the wings of the X-Wing, and in issue 7 you get this plated part here, which is just stunning and iconic. You've got the 5 stripes here for Red 5, showing that it is Luke's Red 5 starfighter that we're building. This really nice red paint and this really nice grey paint here, which is done very well, very neat indeed. A bit of a blaster mark there, looking very nice, and then different kind of shades of wash throughout. And then on the back we've got all these little nubbings and stuff to attach it to whatever it attaches to in the future. We've also got a paint splodge here, which is quite nice. It shows that someone's actually scratched paint off or got paint on there. Shows a bit of the craftsmanship, which is quite nice. So also we get in issue 7 this part here, which is some detailing. Again, it's been painted to get this grey colour. And what you do with this is you hold the wing this way so that the painted part is at the bottom, and you can see we've got these 1, 2, 3, 4 slats here, and these 2 holes there. Or is that a slat? I think that's a slat actually, just slightly indented. And then on this part we have the 5 pins there. So all we need to do is line these up and push them in. And they do poke out the other side if you wish to glue them down, which you might have to do because they, oh, they're not pushing in hard enough. We'll line them up correctly. Let's see, let's try and do a middle one and work our way out. Okay, so mine aren't going in fully. It does say to give them a good old push. So I'm just going to push them down. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm getting the back of the screwdriver and just using the screwdriver to push them in fully. Especially the part here with the detail on it, that takes some pushing in. Yeah, they are through. As you can tell, they are through there. Actually, that one's not through as much as it can be. So really push down on there. Come on, there we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that is on. And again, if you do want to attach a bit of glue on there, you can. But I don't think I will. I think that's pretty secure. Yeah, so just the back of the screwdriver, really push down this part into these slats, and you have some detailing on the edge of the wing there, which is very nice. We're now moving on to this part here, and if I haven't lost it, here we go. Yep, it's here. We need the gun support, the laser cannon support, I should say. This is very simple to do. You hold it this way so that circle part is facing towards the wing. You just put the pegs into the holes there and push down. Push that nice and securely in there. Once again, if you'd like, attach a bit of glue, but I'm not going to. That looks very nice there indeed. Flip it over and we'll start looking at what comes in issue 8. Issue 8 first off comes with some of the framework for the wing, which is really nice, and it's very simple to attach. You've got these 4 holes at the top here, which just push into those 4 holes there as a guide, and then we have a screw hole there, screw hole there, screw hole there, screw hole there. So I'm just going to go ahead and screw this part down now. Okay, that music barely got started, did it? It's actually 2 screw holes there. These are also guides, which I didn't really realise. So yeah, just 2 screws, went in really, really nicely, and that framework is secure, adding a bit of weight to the wing. Something that I forgot to do from issue 7 is attach these 2 parts here. Now these parts look like they should be magnets, like real magnets in real life. What they actually are is pretend magnets, but on the real X-Wing, which is fictional, it will have these magnets to hold the wing in place. Does that make sense? These are just plastic parts, but they're there to represent magnets. I guess you don't need magnets for this build. That's why they're not magnetic. I'm going to stop saying magnets now. What you need to do is you need to get this pin here, and it's got a slight D shape. It's got a bit there that's been cut off from the circle. Same with this hole. It's got a bit here that is cut off, and you just line these up without knocking whatever camera you may have. Okay, this is going to be trickier than I thought. Oh no, there we go. There's one in there. And then we get the next non-magnetic magnet. And move it around the hole so it fits in. Just guide it in. There it is. Does that come in? I think that's in. There we go. So there we have those 2 magnets there, which are magnetic. Like I say, to hold the X-Wing in place. I think they're just decoration. I don't think they have a function. They're nicely decorated. They've got these, some work's gone into them. They're not just flat silver parts. They've got this texture work in there as well. But are they useful? Are they going to be seen? This framework means that they're not, maybe? I just don't know. But they go in there, and no questions asked. We'll move on to what they do at a later date. The next parts we get in issue 8 are these 2 parts here, and I'm putting them up together to show that they are not identical parts. The bottom one is a straight cut, and this one has an angular cut. Just be wary of that when you do this next stage. So we'll get the angular cut one first, and we need to get the angular part of the wing. And you just line up this part here, there's 3 holes, and there are 6 holes here, but the bottom line of holes is where you need to push these through. So just push one in there like that, one in there like that, and the final one in there like that. Did that go in? I think it did, yep. So we are getting more detailing here. Maybe this is just the bottom of the wing. I don't know. I just don't know. But yeah, they're really nice tubes, passing electrical current, I guess, in the real life X-Wing. I don't know. We also get these 2 parts as well in issue 8. Again, they are not the same. The holes are in completely different positions. So we need the one with the hole next to this spoke part here. If I can get it zoomed in, you see that there? That is the one we want. And we just, again, just push them onto the holes like that, with this end one being the most fiddly again, but there we go. Oh, I see, and they go straight into the magnets. So they are electrical piping to power the magnets there. Very, very cool. And we just flip it around and we do the exact same thing on the bottom. So we get the straight version of this with this lone pipe facing down, this extra pipe facing downwards, and that just pops in here. So we've got one hole. Let's do the middle one first, and then the 2 ends. There we go. Nice satisfying click that was, wasn't it? And come on. That one is not wanting to go in at all. There we go. Like that. And you see we've got 2 holes above it for this conduit part. So again, push that there. Push that onto there. Click, click. And again, some electrical current going into these magnets. So yeah, decoration for the underside of the wing. I didn't expect that, but it does add something. Adds that detailing, which I really like in these DeAgostini models. So yeah, very happy that we're doing that. The final piece of detailing on the underside of this wing will be attached onto these 2 pegs here, and it is this part, which is just very nicely weathered plastic part with this nice detailing here, which I guess is meant to be more metal, which is lovely. And you get 2 holes there for these 2 pegs. Make sure that the detailing part is facing towards you as you attach it, and line up the holes, which is possibly easier said than done. There's 1 and there's 2. There we go. Push in there so it sits very nicely onto these grooves there. Doesn't quite sit flush with the metal part, but it does sit flush with those grooves. And again, lovely detailing on the underside of that wing. And that is it. That is it for the wing. Obviously, it does come with all of these holes here, so you can put the gun in place here, just as a little guide of where it should go. But don't attach it yet, because it doesn't say to in the instructions, so I guess there's more work to do. And yeah, let's just show off the inside there like that. Oh, I guess actually I'm assuming that this hole here is going to be where this wire goes in eventually. Yes, and then it will attach there like that. Very clever. I like it a lot. If I can find the holes anyway, I like it. There we go. So yeah, that is definitely the hole for that wire. And then on the top side, yeah, you can't see that wire at all. Fantastic design that. Look at that. Lovely. So yeah, that is what the wing will look like with the turret on. But we don't put the turret on just yet, because there is more to do on the wing, and that will be in 3 weeks time. So I hope you'll join me for that. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. And just to end this video, I just want to say I have been made aware of the latest trial build product going around, which is of course the Iron Man armor. I am very tempted to pick up the trial and see what that is all about. It isn't available. Actually, I haven't looked in my local Woolworths. Woolworths, that's a flashback. I haven't looked in my local Smiths, so it might be in there. I don't know. Maybe I should have a look. I might go have a look. I'm going to go have a look and see if it's in there. So keep an eye out for those trial videos. If I do decide to do it, I'll have a look at the magazine and go from there about whether I will. I'm waffling. I need to go. I will see you in 3 weeks' time for the next X-Wing video. Until then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.